Now Saul had spent many days in Damascus with the disciples, and he immediately went to the synagogue and he began to preach that Jesus was the Christ. But the people of Damascus were afraid, and they asked themselves, "Isn't he the one that has wreaked havoc in Jerusalem among all those who call upon the name? And isn't he here to take them prisoners back to the chief priests?" And yet, Paul began to grow in power, and he baffled the Jews in Damascus by preaching that Jesus and proving that Jesus was the Messiah. Well, after many days, there was a conspiracy among the Jews to kill Saul, and Saul had learned of their plan. So those kept watch day and night at the gate so that they could kill Saul. But Saul's followers lowered him in a basket, and he escaped through a hole in the wall. And when Saul went to Jerusalem, he tried to join the other disciples there, but they were afraid of him, and they did not believe that he was a true disciple of the Christ. Now Saul spent years and years in Damascus. And after a long time had passed, he went to the synagogue and he began to preach that Jesus was the Son of God. And the Jews there received it very well because they thought Saul was a rock star. No. The Jews there were afraid, and they questioned, "Isn't he the one that wreaked havoc in Jerusalem? And isn't he here now to liberate all of the Christians? Isn't he here to take prisoner those who call upon their name?" But Paul grew in power, and he began to baffle the Jews in Damascus by proving that Jesus was the Messiah. Well, after many days, the Jews were totally convinced that Jesus was the Messiah, and they celebrated everything that Saul said. No. The Jews had a conspiracy against Saul, and they wanted to kill him. And Saul had no idea that this was happening, and so he walked right into their trap. Now, he knew. And they watched day and night at the gates so that they could kill Saul. But his followers took him and they threw him over the wall, and he escaped through a hole in the wall. And when he got to Jerusalem, the disciples there in Jerusalem were so excited to see Saul. They knew that he was the latest and newest rock star disciple, and they couldn't wait for him to join their midst.